Conrad Fargo, this is the Fargo 5. We're here with Josh Voytek from Rustica Wine Company. Hello, Josh.
Hello.
We are moving to Fargo favorites. This is the segment where we talk about your favorite things and your favorite places in Fargo area. So we're going to dive right into it. You should have some really interesting answers for this first one here. So let's imagine you're going to go out to eat.
Yep.
It's not going to be like a big fancy meal. It's not date night or birthday night or something. But you want to go out. You don't want to go, you don't want to cook. So you're just going to go out to eat. Where you go? Where are you going tonight?
I've always been on the Moorhead side, being a big fan of Rustica.
Rustica.
They've got, obviously, a lot of people in town know this already, but they've got great happy hour specials, especially their pizzas, half off pizzas during happy hour time. They open at 5, Tuesday through Saturday. And that's on the tavern side, but their full menu is just phenomenal as well. They got great wines, specialized kind of more in the Mediterranean region. So a lot of stuff from Spain, Italy, France.
Do you drink with every dinner? I mean, because you're so big into it.
So when I go to a place like Rustica, typically, surprisingly enough, I tend to go, or like Rustica, Mezzaluna, I tend to go for cocktails. I like to, kind of celebrate. I like to do that a lot at home, play around with like making cocktails. So I like to celebrate and check out kind of what some different ideas that different other bartenders, other mixologists in town kind of come up with, for better or for worse. Sometimes it's inspiration for maybe something I'm going to do for a cocktail of my own, or maybe it's just I can go and appreciate something that somebody else does.
When I think of you and your classes, you're always like opening a bottle and pouring it. So I don't really think of you in mixology, but sure. I suppose mixology is. I don't know. Somehow it seems like I'm trying to not use a dirty word, not a dirty word, but I don't want to say it starts with a B. Corrupted. There you go.
Sure.
A corrupted form of the drink because it's not pure. Open a bottle and pour it.
Sure.
Are you cool with cocktails though, or I feel like they're maybe
yeah.
the stepchild of the drinking world? No.
Well, no, absolutely. I'm kind of picky when it comes to my cocktails. Like one of my favorite, besides whiskey, because we talk about that a lot. My other favorite spirit would be gin. And I love a lot of gin cocktails. And what gin to me is so like I don't do vodka cocktails at all because vodka is just simply a base spirit. So literally anything you add to it is going to be where the flavor and everything is coming from. Yeah. You're just adding alcohol so you get drunk.
Yeah.
But gin, each gin, especially like craft gins, have different botanicals, and each provides a different like subtle nuance to it. And so you combine that with some, judicious amount of, some kind of fruit juice, some kind of liqueur, sometimes some like spices or herbs or things like that, and suddenly it can transform that already complex gin into something, beautiful and wonderful. One of my favorite cocktails is Aviation, which is gin and lemon juice, maraschino liqueur, and then creme de violet. And that's 4 ingredients. And depending on what quality of gin you use and what flavors are in the gin, it can transform that particular cocktail in many different ways.
When you say vodka is like just a base spirit, vodka is like what, 40% alcohol?
Approximately.
So there's like 60% of something in there. What would you say is like or would you have something to say about the difference between vodka and just like straight Everclear, which is pure alcohol?
Oh, well, that's
what's
just,
the 60%? Yeah. What's the difference? I mean, why put?
Well, it's mostly like water, basically. Just like anything, like there's some leftover, other compounds that do not involve alcohol. A lot of them more water-based kind of things. I mean, you look at the process of making, any of those kind of spirits anyway, and you look at something like a vodka or a gin or whatnot, you're making them in like pot stills and whatnot, but you're also not, incorporating any wood or any of those other things. And then sometimes you also have like flavored, vodkas or things where you're adding fruit juice or adding some kind of other flavoring, or even like adding a, you look at some of those like infused vodkas where they add like an entire, mango or an entire apple or entire pear, and they just let the flavors kind of seep out. So there's, it's the higher octane, like you're talking about your Everclear is usually like around 190 proof. So it's basically, it's wood alcohol, that you're consuming, but it's just enough non-alcohol, that you're not drinking just pure straight alcohol. But a lot of times, once again, you use that judiciously. A lot of times what people do with Everclear, that aren't looking to just get absolutely plastered is they'll add it in like a small amount of Everclear to a large batch of something.
Yeah.
Like you think about like an apple pie where you have like a gigantic jug and you add like one, 7 or 375 or something like that of Everclear, and then the rest is, some whiskey, some other things too, and then some apple cider and whatnot. But once again, there's a reason, alcohol exists. Alcohols always exist, and there's different reasons why people drink alcohol or drink certain alcoholic beverages. And when we go back to cocktails, for me, it's just one more way of expressing flavor and taste. But like coming up with your own cocktails or tweaking or adding and subtracting, it's the art form part of the food and beverage industry. That it's like cooking, but with drink ingredients as opposed to food ingredients. And I like cooking too. So it's kind of, to me, that those just go hand in hand, as opposed to like, it's almost like the difference between like cooking and baking. Cooking is allows for a little bit of spontaneity, a little freedom and whatnot. Baking, you want to follow, it's very chemical. You want to very precise, you don't add too much of this, don't add too much of that, or else it will result in something totally different than what you're looking for. If you don't add enough, sugar or salt, or don't add enough flour or enough, baking powder, it can rise too much, rise too little, all those sorts of things. It's very, you have to understand the rules before you even like try to tweak in any little shape or form. Cooking, you can kind of use general guideline principles and then, build up from that. So.
All right. Moving to the next question here. You're going to meet somebody, maybe for a coffee or a drink. Probably with you, it's meeting for a drink. But you're going to go out somewhere and just have a meeting, maybe a business meeting or a networking meeting, or just to get to know you. Where's your favorite place to go meet people?
BernBaum's. I mean, it's my favorite place for breakfast too. So BernBaum's or breakfast or lunch, hands down. In my opinion, best restaurant in town. Obviously they're not open in the evenings. They're only open 7 to 3. But Andrea Baumgartner, she's done an awesome job, in terms of the cuisine there. It's that fusion of, Jewish delicatessen meets like Scandinavian from this area. I can always find something I'm going to like. I oftentimes have the lamb sandwiches, but, sometimes I'll have like the Romanian sausage and egg bagel. Sometimes I'll have the egg bake of the day. But yeah, it's awesome food. It's a cool environment. You always, anytime you go in there, you're always seeing people having business meetings, having, somewhere to bring people to. Anytime I have like family in town or, special friends, going to BernBaum's for one of those days when they're in town is always a must. So, that would be my like number one for sure place. I also, I work at Mungada, which is the wine bar that's the wine and oyster bar at Brewhalla. I do some days a week there too. That new Brewhalla space is awesome for meeting people too.
Brewhalla is a good meeting place. That's common answer. When you're not eating out, which it sounds like you do a lot of, you do eat at home sometimes.
Absolutely.
So you get food into your house.
Yep.
From where do you procure such food? What's your favorite grocery store?
I'm a big fan of Aldi, just because it's just right down the road from where I'm at.
Yeah.
I'm over by the Dilworth Aldi, which is not always the case because there's only so many of them. They're building a new one down in South, so I think that's the third one they'll have.
Yeah.
But Aldi, it's got good value for their stuff. There's a lot of obviously European products that are awesome.
Everybody says Aldi in here. I almost got to like get a different question. Like it's just Aldi.
I do also have a Costco membership.
No,
so when I'm working
Aldi's a fine answer. Aldi is very popular. This is the Aldi show. You know a lot of different people in town here. Then plenty of them are restaurateurs. So you might be able to name a third restaurant here. I don't know. But what's your favorite business in town? Your favorite small business?
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a little tough one.
So we want to do something besides food, or is that what we're kind of looking at?
No. I just somebody where like you maybe know the owner, or you're like this business. People need to know more about it.
Absolutely. So a good friend of mine just recently opened Michelle's Table, which is a French bistro. They're located up on that same block with Herdenhorns, right across from the Fine Arts Center at DSU.
Yeah, I had coffee there.
Yeah. So
recently.
so Michelle LaHaye Bates, who is a good friend of mine, actually, almost kind of their family is kind of like almost second family to me.
Yeah.
So
Oh, wow.
I went to college with their eldest daughter,
Oh,
and her oldest daughter is my goddaughter, actually.
I
So
see.
good friends of the family for probably 2 decades. And so yeah, but she's done some different things like through the Red River Market and whatnot. And this is her first kind of brick and mortar store, and then she just opened that in July. So they've got great sandwiches and coffee, drinks, and it's kind of that sort of thing. And we've also just recently started introducing some wine, some like French bistro wines into there as well. So if you want to get some French wine, the wine list is exclusively French, as it should be. And it's just nicely decorated, and they do some private events. They've always have like a soup on hand too. So that's definitely one business I really want to give a shout out to and support. They're open Tuesday through Saturday as well. So they're closed on Sunday and Monday, but definitely it's like 8 to 4. And then they're looking to do down the road here some like evening, French appetizer wine kind of things on probably like Wednesday through Friday. Well, hasn't been 100% determined yet, but just kind of the next step in the evolution of what that business is going to be.
Very cool. Yeah, I was there a little over a month ago. It was hopping. I mean,
Yeah.
so people are up there. It's very, very good. Last question here. It's your day off. You're doing something that's just for you. It's not work, so maybe drinking isn't involved, although I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to paint the wrong picture here. But what do you do just for you, just for fun? What's your favorite recreation? What do you do for a good time?
Summertime golfing for sure.
Yeah, big golfer.
Yeah, well, yeah. I live not far from Meadows Golf Course, so that's kind of my home course. So I play probably that one most often. But we've got some great courses here in Fargo, Moorhead area directly, and then of course if you start to expand out into the like Lakes Country surrounding areas, there's plenty of things to do there. So I was just and then of course we've got the wintertime we've got sweet shots. So opportunity to have some outlet for that.
You love to golf. Big into the golf.
Yeah,
You're gonna have to teach me.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the best. Justin is definitely better than I am, but we enjoy going out together, and we just definitely like to support the local golf courses. The year before, actually, last year or 2022, Justin and I ran the Moorhead golf courses like food and beverage, portion that year. So that was a lot of fun, and obviously get an opportunity to do a lot of golfing during that time too, and obviously being right near where I live is a plus too. We also do like I love getting together with people and playing like board games and stuff like that too. So that would be more like wintertime activity where there's less outdoors kind of stuff to do. That would be kind of my alternative, which is actually kind of cool because there's a lot of places. I mentioned Brewhalla before. It's interesting to see at Brewhalla how many people get together, particularly on the weekends, and like bring a board game and like sit upstairs and have some drinks and stuff like that with family. So it's got a great spot for if you're looking for like a game space for a lot of people. Besides some of the game stores and stuff like that in town. Brewhalla is a great one for that.
Never thought of that. Sounds like a good time. You have a bunch of friends and play some Monopoly.
Yeah, exactly.
And maybe not as many friends when you leave, but hey, you had a good time while you were there.
Exactly.
All right. Well, that's the show. We're done. We're only 9 minutes over. Why don't you go ahead, plug yourself, and we'll clock out of here.
All right, sounds good. Well, I'm Josh Voytek. Like I said, I'm account manager for Rootstock Wine Company. Also work over at Mungada. So if you want to, that's the easiest place to find me in town, besides the classes and events and things like that I do. But always happy to talk wine with people or any other beverage for that matter. And hope to see you over at the wine bar. I'll be working tonight, actually.
Awesome. And I am Conrad Fargo. This has been the Fargo 5. Of course, you can find me conradfargo.com/the Fargo 5, or you can go onto Facebook and just search for the Fargo 5, or go to the YouTubes and go just look for Conrad Fargo. You'll find me. I'm there. Anywhere you type in Conrad Fargo, you can find me. We are going to get out of here with a little bit of Led Zeppelin with Hey, Hey, What Can I Do? And we will see you next week.